Hey guys, so this is my first video for 2024. Wanting to wish you guys a happy new year, and hopefully this year will also be a good one for you in terms of trading, right? So as usual in this video, I'll be taking a look at the indexes first, followed by some of the stocks on my watch list and my current open positions. So if we take a look at the S&P 500, I've been saying in the past one to two previous videos that the indexes has been short-term extended, right? So what do I mean by that? So you can see that prices actually rose sharply from the bottom, right? Here was the bottom, and then you see that prices actually went up almost like parabolically, right? So far it has been finding support at 10-day moving average. So usually during the first stages of the initial rally, prices tend to find support at the 10-day moving average. But over time, this 10-day moving average does not hold much longer for the indexes. So what do I mean by that, right? So to give you a better picture, let's take a look at the past history of the S&P 500. So you can see that during this rally over here, so from this point over here to this point, you would notice that the S&P 500 actually made an increase, right? And during this time, a lot of stocks make quite a substantial move, right? So what do I mean by during the initial stages, prices of the S&P 500 tend to find support at the 10-day moving average, but after that initial phase, like the 10-day moving average does not provide much of a support for the S&P 500. So the perfect case in point is over here, right? So you can see that this was around the bottom, and then the first initial stage of the rally, prices find support at the 10-day moving average. So this is the 10-day moving average. So it finds support over here, finds support over here, and finds support over here. Right, so this was the initial stages, but you see that as the rally goes on and as the rally matures, the prices of the S&P 500 does not find support at the 10-day moving average anymore. So it starts to find support at 21 day, then after a while, it declines and finds support at the 50, 50, and 50, 50, 50, and so on, right? So why is it like that, right? So usually not just for the indexes, but it applies to stocks as well, right? So the 10-day moving average is a very fast and short-term moving average, right? So only like strong moves in the, whether be it in the indexes or in the stocks, only during strong moves prices tend to find support in the 10-day moving average. So usually strong moves tend to occur at the beginning of a rally, right? So this was the beginning of the rally, and this rally was a strong move, right? So usually during strong moves, prices tend to find support at the 10-day moving average. But after the rally passes its initial stage, then the rally starts to lose a bit of steam. This is not to say that the rally will not continue. The rally can continue, but you'll lose a bit of its initial steam, right? So when it loses the initial steam, the 10-day moving average does not provide a support to prices after that initial stage, right? So over here, you can see that it has been finding support at the 10-day moving average for quite a period of time. So for moving forward, I expect the 10-day moving average not to provide support for the S&P 500 anymore, right? So not to say, as I mentioned just now, not to say that the rally won't continue, but you can possibly see that the 10-day moving average will not provide as much of a support to S&P 500 as before, right? So that's a quick overview of the S&P 500. So right now, the ideal case for me is that the S&P 500 might actually face some pullbacks, right? So maybe pull back to the 21-day moving average, or at least base for a while more. So base or move sideways for a while more, let the 21-day moving average catch up, right? So with that said, like the S&P 500 can continue to move up, right? Which is why in my current portfolio, I'm about 15% invested, right? So if prices continue to move up, I will stand to benefit from the move up, right? But if prices do decline and the stocks face some pullbacks and I get stopped out, at least I'm more or less protected from the downside, right? Because I'm only currently 15% invested, and a lot of my current open positions are already in profit, right? So that's a brief overview for the S&P 500. The next one is the Dow Jones. So similarly, you can see that the Dow Jones from the bottom, it moved up, right? So the very strong move up, almost like parabolic, right? So similarly, it finds support at the 10-day moving average, but as we have seen from just that past example, we know that the 10-day moving average, sooner or later, it will give way, right? So the next support will probably be the 21-day moving average. So that's also for the Dow Jones. Same thing for the Nasdaq. So the Nasdaq is slightly different, right? So the Nasdaq, you can see that it actually broke out above its multi-year base, right? So the last time this base had formed at the end of November of 2021, and then right now we are over here. So you can see that prices actually move sideways at the top of the base for a while, and for the Nasdaq, it does not look as extended compared to the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones. So the next one is the IWM. So another thing for the IWM is over here you see that there were multiple days of above average volume on down days, right? So on this down day over here, you see that volume was above average. Another down day over here, volume was above average. In fact, this down day, volume was also above average. And then over here, we had this pullback over here, right? So similarly, prices has been finding support at the 10-day moving average. So moving forward, I don't think it will hold much longer. So maybe for this pullback or the next pullback, prices might break below the 10-day moving average. So that's something to look out for. So with that said, so that's some of my thoughts on the indexes currently. The next thing that we'll take a look at is my watch list for this week. So the first one is VNCE, right? So strong EPS for the most recent quarter, right? So back in December 2023, the EPS actually year over year it made a 135% increase. For sales, not so good. It decreased 15% year over year, but quarter over quarter it increased, right? So that's for the fundamentals. But what's more important for me is the technicals, right? So you can see that prices actually make a strong move up, right? So from a price of around $1.20, it went up all the way to $3.80. So that's more than a triple-digit move in a very short period of time. And then in the process, it broke above all the key moving average. So all the moving average over here, it broke above it, and it broke above the 200-day moving average. So on Friday, there was a sell-off, but a positive sign is that actually buyers step in to push prices to close above the 200-day moving average. So moving forward, if you can continue to hold above the 200-day moving average and ideally move sideways for a while, if it breaks out over this level at around $3.80, then I might look to add my position in the stock. For next one, CGEN, right? So gap up on strong volume on this day, right? So volume was almost 20 times or more than 20 times the average. And then if we just zoom out, you'll see that this was volume on this day over here was the highest in like the past couple of years. So it's telling us something. And furthermore, when prices gap up, it gap up above its multi-month or multi-year base, right? So the last time the base was around here, right? So it gap up above the left side base, and then it cleared on above average volume and very high volume. So that's something we want to see for stocks gapping up, right? Ideally. So it declined a bit, but it more or less hold its gap up, right? So you can see that it closes above this level. So it's holding up quite well. So if it can continue to move sideways and let the 10-day moving average catch up, then it'll be good, right? So if it breaks up from here, then this is something I'll look to add my position in. The next one is ARBB. So similarly, gap up on strong volume, not the most ideal close, right? So you can see that prices actually went up at one point, went up all the way to about $4.50, but sellers stepped in and sold the stock and it closed at $2.60. So if prices can continue to move sideways and then like let the moving averages catch up, I might look to add my position on the breakout over here. So for this one, for PBLA, gap up, strong move up, then it declined over here multiple days of gap down, so that's not ideal. But so far it's holding above its 10-day moving average. So if it can continue to hold above its 10-day moving average and break above this base, I might look to add my position in this stock. So that's some of the stocks on my watch list for this week. Let me go through some of my current open positions. So I have this stock RLMD, so strong move up, move sideways. I actually bought on Friday, but you can see that the close wasn't very good, right? So I bought on at this level around $4.20, but prices did not manage to hold this level and it closed below, right? So we'll see what happens in the coming session. For ANY, right? So my buy point was here at $1.74. So strong move up, decline, found support at 21-day moving average, and then it gap up a bit over here, and then I bought on this breakout. And then I actually sold half of my position at this level. So this level is my 3-hour profit target. So sold half of my 3-hour profit target, and then I brought my stop to break even. Then as the stock continues to move up, I continue to bring my stop above, right? So right now, I'm actually trailing my stop with prices. So to make sure that I don't give up too much of my gains that I have secured with this stock at the current moment. The next one is VRCA. Same thing, strong move up, move sideways. Then for this stock, the moving average did not catch up, but I just bought it over here. Hit my 3-hour profit target, and then right now my stop is at break even or better. So it ensures that I will have a net positive return on this trade. RMAX, same thing, strong move up, broke above some of the key moving average, move sideways, finding support at the 10-day moving average. If I'm not wrong, I bought it on this day over here, so the 28th December. So right now it hasn't shown much of a profit, but it hasn't also stopped me out yet. So we'll see in the coming days what will happen to the stock. PHR also got it on Thursday, right? So same thing, because probably reason being is because also towards the end of the year, so there's not much trading activity, right? So volume is also below average, then there's not much price movement for the stock. So let's see in the coming days and weeks whether the stock will start to move. If it doesn't move on time, yeah, I might even sell it or get out of my position even before the stock hit my stop loss. Then for the next one, OMER. So I already took half my position off at this 3-hour profit target, and then I trailed the other half, right? So right now it actually found support at the 10-day moving average, so hopefully it will bounce over at this level. If not, I actually put my stop to break even or better, right? So ensuring that I have a net positive return on this trade. SLDB, same thing, I also hit my 3-hour profit target, and I already brought it to break even or better. So that's some of my current open positions. So in total, none of these positions have I have big size in them, right? So that's why over here you can see that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stocks, and I'm around 15 to 20% invested, right? So you can see that all of them are not really big positions. So reason being, I explained earlier on in the video, is because I feel that the indexes are overextended in the short term, so we could see some pullbacks and some declines in the coming days and weeks. So with that said, I do want to give back much of the gains that I made in the past few weeks. So I'm deciding to go a bit less invested in the coming days and weeks, right? So hopefully you have enjoyed and learned something from this video. I'll see you in the other videos. To your financial success.